Arnold Schwarzenegger put together one of the best bodybuilding careers of all time. Since his days off stage, Schwarzenegger has been open about his steroid use and how certain drugs impacted the sport. Schwarzenegger won a total of 7 Mr. Olympias over the course of his career. He came to America and quickly became a sensation because of his insane physique. Schwarzenegger is considered by many to be the best bodybuilder of all time. That's also my feeling. I think he's the godfather of bodybuilding, and the guy who started it all. If it wasn't for him, none of us would be, most of us would not be lifting weights anyway. During his years out of competition, he has dabbled in politics and acting. Schwarzenegger has been successful in many avenues, also remains an influential voice in bodybuilding. Each year, the Arnold Classic continues to be the second biggest bodybuilding show of the year. Decades after he stepped off stage, Schwarzenegger has been open about how the sport changed today. Of course, this includes the use of steroid, or rather the abuse of it, and growth hormone and IGF and insulin, which is what I believe. I think it's a fact. It's a well-known fact that GH and insulin is what ruined bodybuilding and made it a freak show instead of a physiques were aesthetic and pleasing looking from the Arnold era. I think it began from the era of Dorian Yates. He's the one who introduced the abuse of growth hormone in bodybuilding. In a conversation with Men's Health, Schwarzenegger discussed his personal steroid use while discussing the state of the sport as well. So Arnold finally breaks down his steroid use. It's not like what happened before, where Arnold would only say, I used them, or whatever, the select ones that he used, what kind of steroid he used. So now it's different. He discussed actually what steroid he used and the dosages. The difference in steroids from back in Arnold Schwarzenegger's era now is largely in use and how they are received. Schwarzenegger hinted at taking 2 main drugs to maintain his physique. So, quote coming from Arnold from Men's Health: 100 milligrams a week and then 3 Dianabol a day. So that was 15 milligrams. So let me break down this quote here. So 100 milligram a week would be an injectable of some sort. Could it be testosterone or Primo, which was like Primo, which bodybuilders from his era's account is Arnold's favorite choice of steroid. There's a story where Arnold will like come back from Germany with suitcase, full of Primobolan. So must be Primobolan or testosterone, who knows. I highly doubt that 100 milligram a week would be testosterone, since that would do nothing, or maybe it would, because that 100 milligram a week probably would be a testosterone replacement dose, and then taking Dianabol as his main source of anabolism or anabolic to build muscle. But the dosage that he talked about here, 15 milligrams a day. Granted, it's pharmaceutical, D-ball from back in the day, but still 50 milligrams a day is, at least looking at how Arnold looked back in the day, I don't think that's factual. I don't think he's being honest here. And that has been my my gripe and my beef with bodybuilders from the golden era. It's now, since that you can't lie and say flat out that I don't use steroids, they're just started to downplay their dosage. And I don't know why they're doing it. Could be try to not advocate abuse of steroids, because if you say, well, I took like 6 tabs of Dianabol a day, or that would have really made him look bad some reason. But Arnold Schwarzenegger, out of all people, is the guy who I really wanted to know what his stack is, since Arnold now in his like the twilight of his life here. So I don't think Arnold should go to the grave with his secret, with his cycle. So should be honest, at this point, who cares? But also, I think he doesn't want to encourage or encourage the abuse of steroid, because a quote from him like will be heard by a lot of teenagers. So I think he just want to really avoid that. But moving on. Schwarzenegger admitted to being on Dianabol and testosterone. This is what's written on the article there, which has become popular in today's era as well. Many competitors take testosterone replacement to keep their physique intact. This include other strength sports as well. Highlighted by Larry Wheel, the fitness star weaned off steroids and decided to go on TRT. This is Larry Wheels they're talking about, which is another BS. I think that he's maintaining all his steroid blast gain by just like a mere dose of TRT. I think he's taking more than just TRT, than just knowing that now that I'm not natural anymore that I used to. So now I can truly say that TRT, still TRT, is not enough to maintain a massive physique. You're still gonna have to, take a little bit of a tremboloni sandwich in there also. A little bit, not that much. But anyway, he has been able to maintain his shredded build and strength, is what it says about Larry Wheels. Schwarzenegger continued to discuss some of the dangers of the sport today. Quote, bodybuilding always was considered a safe sport, but now it's not. Now people are dying. They are dying because of overdose of drugs. So yeah, that's probably the reason why he haven't. I mean, back in the day, the 70s guys abused just as much as steroids as guys abusing today, except those guys back in the day weren't taking insulin and growth hormone. They were only taking hypertrophy causing drugs, not hyperplasia drugs like growth hormone and insulin. So so moving on, now people are dying. They're dying because of overdose, because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're listening to charlatans. If I want to go and get medical advice from a legitimate doctor, I'll go to UCLA or I go to the Cleveland Clinic, unquote. The dangers of bodybuilding has been highlighted by the unfortunate strings of death in the end of 2021. Arnold Schwarzenegger entered the discussion by urging competitors to be cautious when using. Quote, don't go there. Yes, we are at a time now where we always want for the easy way to make money, the fastest way to get rich, the easy way to be an influencer. Anytime you abuse the body, you're going to regret it later on. I want young people to know that I have seen people get kidney transplants and suffer tremendously from it, unquote. So wrapping this video up, I think, reading this quote right here, I think, not saying that Arnold, I mean, like how many heart transplants he had. So yes, he have had issues, and most of it, from the abuse of roids. There are plenty of stories of back in the day where guys, of course, because they didn't have internet back then, they didn't know quite well what they're doing with their body, the side effects of steroid back in the day, since they were just like beta testing, but they were like doing a lot of shit. They were like, swallowing Dianabol like it's, cereal. So yeah, those guys were abusing, and they have had, health issues. Of course, they're not going to tell you. But Arnold Schwarzenegger, because he's such a figure and in a public eye, we know all the health issues he went through. So that's my take on this article and Arnold being open about his steroid. I think he's not being honest, but take it what you will. If you enjoyed the anabolic injection of bodybuilding content like these, please like, share, and subscribe to Muscle Monster YouTube channel.